to start to show off our prowess in business, in finance, in trade and commerce, in logistics.
That's the expectation from the recent opening of the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority offices at Waterloo Road in Kingston. If you want to invest in the Special Economic Zone or the Global Logistics Hub initiative, call 876-619-7392 or visit jseza.com. Your favorite magazine program is packed with all you need to make your interaction with government even more seamless. Stay tuned.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, July 16. The planned strategic review of the operations and management of the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam is to be completed by November. That review is to be completed by a Christopher Zaka-led commission, which will be named this week. Prime Minister Andrew Holness gave that assurance and others when he met with the Petrojam staff on Friday. Mr. Holness, who now has ministerial oversight for Petrojam until the strategic review is completed, says the viability of the refinery is among his top priorities.
The strategic review is going to help me to point in the right direction. Having a strong board is going to ensure that the direction is executed properly. And having the right management is going to make sure that we meet all the steps along the way towards reaching the direction.
Good governance initiatives implemented at Petrojam include the appointment of a new board of directors and a competitive process for the hiring of a new general manager.
Without good governance, then the value of this asset, which we all depend on, will decline. So the government wants to give you the assurance that we are putting in place the best governance possible to ensure that this national asset that you live off, the country lives off and depends on, is performing at its optimum.
The National Housing Trust, NHT, is promising 3 new housing developments for the parish of Trelawney. In addition to breaking ground for 212 service lots at Windsor Hills, 58 two-bedroom houses are slated for Granville and 900 housing solutions for Dry Valley in the parish.
We recognize that Trelawney is emerging as a parish of choice for people to want to live, have their second home or their vacation home or their retirement home. So we take note of the exhibited preference of developers. They're building many homes, particularly in North Trelawney. And it is growing, it is expanding. And the NHT is also in that market as well to make sure that it is affordable.
Minister responsible for the trust, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, was speaking at Thursday's groundbreaking for the Windsor Hills housing development near Duncan's in Trelawney. Of the 212 serviced lots, 132 will go to the NHT for disbursement, 64 to the Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings, and 16 to landowners who integrated their lots into the development. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, is reporting that the country's economy grew 1.4% in the January to March quarter when compared to the similar quarter in 2017. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, Fable Williams, provided details during Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House.
Of note in that report, all the goods producing sectors grew year on year, and similarly, all 8 service industries recorded growth. Additionally, in June, we also received report from Statin that inflation remains contained at 3.1% at the end of May 2018.
Mrs. Williams further disclosed that consumer and business confidence continued on an upward path, adding that Market Research Services Limited characterizes business and consumer confidence as steady.
We are very pleased with the continued direction of the positive trends in the economy and the prospects that they hold for job creation.
All Caribbean Community CARICOM member states have until August 1 this year to have in place standard procedures on the refusal of entry of CARICOM nationals traveling across the region. The procedures will be applied at the border of each country to guide immigration officials on how to treat persons who are denied entry. Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith said this development was agreed by CARICOM heads of government at their meeting in Montego Bay recently. She indicated that this will safeguard the rights of all community nationals moving across the region.
This is a matter which you know has been of great importance to us, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade has been working assiduously with the Secretariat and across the institutions of CARICOM to get these procedures agreed. What they will do is harmonize the practices of immigration officers across the region and retrain, provide new forms, standard forms, and information that will allow for consistent, dignified treatment of persons moving within the region.
And is being facilitated through the free movement regime under the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME. And finally, O'Neill Nazelman Scott is the winner of this year's JCDC Festival Song Competition. He walked away with $2 million for being the songwriter and singer of the winning song, Jamaica Away Home. He also received an additional $300,000 and a trophy for the sectional prize of Best Vocalist. Meanwhile, Escarpment Road New Testament Church walked away with $200,000 for Most Popular on Social Media sectional prize and an additional $300,000 and trophy for Best Performers. Minister of Culture and Entertainment Olivia Grange commended winners for their hard work and effort.
Your songs will go beyond festival. I can assure you it will. You are all excellent talent and you all love Jamaica, and Jamaica loves you.
Over $10 million in cash and prizes were issued to the finalists during last night's event. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Businessmen and women, members of the MSMEs, no longer do you have to visit several government agencies to register a company or business name. Visit the COJ. They are willing and prepared to assist you in filling out the new business registration form, more commonly known as the super form.
The overwhelming response from the majority of our customers is, why did this take so long to happen? There are persons who actually waited until January 2nd to come here to do their business because they wanted to avoid going to multiple government departments.
Click on ocrjamaica.com for more details.
Implementation. That's the buzzword for this minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister. Next, get the details on the growth-inducing projects on his agenda.
December 2018 groundbreaking for Jamaica Gansu Industrial Park. February 2019 completion of approvals for initial phase of Vernon Field Aerotropolis project. And the Jamaica Information Service steps up its service delivery through 3 major projects. Just some of the working targets in fiscal year 2018-2019 for our Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mike Henry. Get the details on how these plans and others will be achieved. With implementation at the forefront of his mind, Minister Mike Henry used his recent sectoral presentation to give updates on government's work towards national economic development. One of those developments is a $6 billion partnership between the governments of Jamaica and China, including the Gansu province.
Groundbreaking for the Economic Zone Industrial Park is scheduled for this to be done in December 2018, which is a working target for both Jamaica and China. Phase construction planned for 2 to 8 years, and construction is scheduled to start in January 2019, which is the timing to be confirmed in September this year at the conference in China.
Designated for Nain in St. Elizabeth, the project is being spearheaded by Jikon Iron and Steel Company Limited, owners and operators of Alpart Bauxite Alumina Company. It envisions the integration of bauxite-related expansion with an industrial park and special economic zone. This includes a high-technology zone, economic and trade zones for manufacturing and processing, port, rail, and logistics facilities, as well as research and development parks. Already, bauxite expansion has been underway at Alpart, and the Technology Corporation training and education initiatives are ongoing. As for the industrial park, the groundwork is being laid. In February, a framework agreement was signed, and by March, the Chinese government approved the project. In May, a joint venture was signed and administrative structure put in place. By June, meetings were had between the Jamaican and Chinese governments, with arrangements made to designate the project a strategic development initiative.
The next step is the launch of an international investment conference and expo in Dongguan, China. The JGIP is slated to be formally confirmed at the conference in September 2018. The creation of equity investment fund to finance joint venture is scheduled for October of this year.
Another national strategic project in the pipeline is the proposed Vernon Field Aerotropolis in Clarendon.
It is to bring together multiple commercial activities, including aviation-related and global trade logistics, all strategically linked to an operating space that facilitates the ease of doing business, greater economic efficiencies, and the achievement of a more attractive and sustainable development.
With unsolicited proposals to invest over $2.5 billion in the project, the government has initiated its work to transform the 6,000-acre property. First up, the re-establishment of the Vernon Field Aerodrome. Project coordinator, the Airports Authority of Jamaica, has been given $300 million to start the process. It will involve the rehabilitation of the aerodrome's runway and fencing of the first 170 acres of the property. The Airports Authority will also coordinate the relocation of the JDS Air Wing Training Facility, as well as aeronautical operations at Tinston Pen to Vernon Field. Stakeholder consultations are also being had.
The CDF has largely delivered its mandate across the country, with all 63 constituencies benefiting from the fund.
To bolster the Constituency Development Fund's service delivery, Minister Henry revealed plans to rebrand it. This, he said, would allow the fund to be more balanced in its provision of financial resources provided for members of Parliament to execute approved social and economic programs in their constituencies. At the Registrar General's Department, work will continue to make all citizens known to the state by way of a birth certificate. Through a partnership with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, over 7,000 Jamaicans across 18 communities have received birth certificates. The Social Investment Fund's intervention in several communities will also continue in the 2018-2019 fiscal year.
Currently, Mr. Speaker, it has an active portfolio of approximately $94 million and targets some tier 10 areas of development. Increasing public consciousness is imperative to the thrust to achieve the national, social, and economic goals. Only an informed citizenry can fulfill the demands of a democratic engagement. People need information to make the right decisions.
And so, the state's official public information and communications agency, the Jamaica Information Service, JIS, will enhance its service delivery in the 2018-2019 fiscal year. It will do so by securing cutting-edge information communication technology systems and equipment to boost its performance. The implementation of an intellectual property policy, a digitization and digital asset management project, and the relocation of the television department to a state-of-the-art facility are also planned for the fiscal year. Having laid out an ambitious agenda for the 2018-2019 financial year, the minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister is now set on delivering on the promises made.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Rousseau. I am one half of a sister team. This is my sister Michelle. We are, Lord, we're lots of things. We're restaurateurs, we have been caterers, we've been in the food business for the past 20-something years.
Our father was also a hotelier and in the restaurant business, so we grew up in a functioning, operating restaurant just because we were around that environment a lot. And we perceive ourselves not as chefs, but as sort of translators and storytellers of the lifestyle.
I think food is a source of unity and connectivity because I think everyone can kind of go, oh, over something delicious. Whether you're from Japan, Italy, or Jamaica, you can find commonality in the experience of something delicious.
I think the magic of Jamaica is really sort of intertwined with the cuisine and the personality of the people and the music and the sort of the vibrant energy that you get. And yet that's completely and perfectly married in the cuisine because the cuisine is a melange of traditional foods inherited from slavery and colonial days. It's fun, it's vibrant, it's energetic, and it really marries very well with the lifestyle that we have here.
I think food is celebration, it's coming together, it's sharing, and I think very much in the Caribbean, it is very typical for families to gather, friends to gather, to celebrate over a meal. Caribbean culture and Jamaican culture is a culture of community and of celebration of life, even in hardship and even in hard times. And so I think all of those things just offer another kind of perspective. It's a unique way of living and a unique way of being.
The issue of sexual assault against women and children, including rape, is a major concern for Jamaica. The government is working hard to not only put away the perpetrators of violence against women and children, but also to provide support to the victims. One organization which offers tremendous support to the victims of sex crimes is the Victim Services Division of the Ministry of Justice. Last year alone, the division provided assistance to more than 13,000 victims.
The government provides this support for victims, and it will provide the support from the day you become a victim of crime. It will follow you through the process. If you have to go to court, it has various innovative approaches that is designed to build your capacity to go through your victimization. The court support, court orientation program of the Victim Services Division is one which has gotten the commendation of police and court officials right across this country. It has several components. Well, even before we actually get into the court, we had a phase where we provided technical capacity building for judges and magistrates across the island, prosecutors, police officers, in understanding the dynamics when a person becomes a victim of a crime. So then there is the working with court, where there's an orientation program which involves us taking particularly children to court before the court day to help them to understand the lay of the land. We actually now provide them with a sense of orientation to understand what it means to be ready for court, and we want to make clear that this is not coaching them or interfering with the evidence and the facts of the case. This is just dealing with the psycho-emotional and the realities from, going to court back and forth. We also realized that a number of children were being victims of sex crime, and it's traumatic. And we felt we needed to bring just these victims into group counseling to be able to deal with some of the issues. We call it an overcomers program.
The Victim Services Division provides support to all, inclusive of free confidential counseling for all ages, no matter the victim's gender or sexual orientation.
It has gotten commendation from victims. We have a 95-96% rating among the persons who we serve.
Jamaica, Have to protect the life where we live, so you know, so we have to think smart. Joe! Well, this is Chino, and we need to talk to the youth them. Be careful of your friend them. People who really care about you and check for you, not gonna put you in a situation where you can end up going to prison or end up losing your life. So you need to stay focused, stay in school, work hard, and don't follow no friend. And remember, a gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
The Lower House of Parliament recently adopted the Major Organised Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency MOCA Bill. This paves the way for the body to fulfill its mandate of taking the profit out of crime. While the agency does the hard job of tackling corruption in the public sector and bringing high-value criminal targets to justice, another organization is using soft skills to steer citizens clear of a life of crime.
The Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP, is a crime and violence prevention initiative. It was developed by the Ministry of National Security to enhance security and justice by addressing the social and economic factors that help foster crime. In 2010, the program launched an outreach initiative called CSJP's Men with a Message.
It is a group of messengers who are reformed men whose stories are aimed to inspire other young men.
Well, I've been a member from the inception of the group from 2010. My role is giving tips and caution to at-risk males, and just to show people that change is possible.
CSJP come and put me on the platform for a better life. My role in the program, I have to encourage my fellow member that we have a task and a journey. My role is also to empower the young youth them.
They were recruited using different criteria. There had to have been proof that they had been out of crime and violence for at least 2 years. They also had to get recommendations from the police, from the community members, and from especially like the community development committees. We must firstly understand that it's a journey. And if they were coming from the other extreme, you know that naturally a lot of workshops, a lot of personal development activities would have taken place along that journey. So they've been able to adjust their behavior. They've been able to reflect within themselves and say, if there are other youngsters who are looking up to me, the onus is on me to act in a particular way.
My name is Derek Jones. I'm a member of Men with a Message. I was in Central Lockup for around a month. I was a part of the problem, robbing people, park and corner, defend ends and turf, till end up go out fall on the wrong side. When I first wake up in jail, I can't believe that I'm in jail I wake. So from there, my mindset started thinking different, knowing that jail was not the right place for me at that time.
I'm Kitsi Brian, and I'm a man with a message. Being in institutions and seeing what life is like, you just have to make a decision. Is either you're going to continue like this or you're going to make amends of your life. I decided that coming back into civilization, that I wanted a change.
We definitely see where the Men with a Message initiative, I mean the CSJP on a whole, but also in particular the Men with a Message initiative, has been having significant impacts on the youngsters across this island. One such evidence is it being the demand that is there for the program, for the young men to come and speak at the different schools. And not only have they been asked to come and speak, but there have been many calls for them to return.
I remember a particular place, it was somewhere over in St. Andrew, but there was a young man there who said that he knew me before all of this, and when I gave him a message and I finished and the young man came, he was crying, tears running down his face, and he was asking me that if I don't remember him, but honestly I didn't know him, but he said that he knew me from time before, and that he had loved the transformation. I can safely say that young man is a member of the National Institute, Engineering Institute, which is NTI. So to see that I was the person that inspired that, wow, that's great.
They are representing a brand that is synonymous to peace building, a brand that is synonymous with law and order, right? So the men with a message are always expected to be good ambassadors of the program, of the CSJP, and of the Ministry of National Security, which is our parent ministry.
Don't follow a friend or not, when I have nowhere going. Badness is madness. Stay in school. Gave teach with that anywhere we go. Read something before we reach. Even if we sit down and waiting on the people, we need to read something. Read a book and you will see the difference between you and the man when I read.
Favored, preferred, prepared mind. We have the power, to form and shape our future. And I'd like to think that, if you want good for yourself, then you'd want to choose the positive way too. Other people are doing what they want to do. So if I have a dream, I don't see the reason why I can't go there and achieve it, just like any other human being.
No one is above the law. We encourage all Jamaicans to join the fight against corruption, organized criminality, these nefarious activities that stymies our country's progress. I want to encourage all Jamaicans to call. We have a secure line, 1-800-CORRUPT. Call anytime and we will treat the information received with the highest standard of confidentiality. We need your help. We want to elicit your support.
Call 1-800-CORRUPT. That's 1-800-267-7878. Be the change. Report corruption today.
And that's all we have for you today, but be sure to join us tomorrow for more useful information about the major happenings coming out of Jamaica land we love. We are available at your leisure. Visit jis.gov.jm or youtube.com/watchjis. We're also maintaining an active social media presence on all the major platforms. And there's a mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.